Grand Rising. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday is the day ruled by Mercury. And so Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, our most heady brothers and sisters. But it is also the planet that rules perception and communication. So what do you perceive and how do you communicate what you perceive? And are you perceiving from here or here? Because it does make a difference. Remember, if you perceive from here, thinking before you speak, thinking before you act, your perception is skewed and it's not even true. If you perceive from the heart, it is 100% true. But then you also need to speak from this space and act from this space so that you remain aligned with truth and with consciousness, and you're guided into unity consciousness. That is the purpose of the human experience, to bring us all back into that light, to ascend while we are here. And so my path and purpose in this life is to help usher us into unity consciousness, but also to heal sacred union for all of consciousness. Isn't that a beautiful task? So to heal the frequency of divine union, but on that path, help as many as I can along the way. And so that's what I'm doing. And so the ascended masters that showed up for me today are the beautiful white eagle, the ancestor spirit. And he is telling me that there is a familial pattern that needs to be healed. And so I have been working on that as Chiron is still moving through its retrograde. Until December, I am chiseling away at those old patterns and the ancient wounds that my soul is carrying actually for the entire collective. So I am moving through that energy. And then Archangel Zadkiel showed up, and Zadkiel shows up for me a lot, but this particular card, the teaching learning, and this is actually how I operate. So he's saying when you learn something, you right away teach it. So stay open to anything new that's coming to you. And I am always that way. So I love that reminder. But when he shows up, I know specifically to pay attention. And so I love that he showed up on a Wednesday. And so the conversation that Lisa and I have had this morning going back and forth is the perception. Don't put yourself in the box. But if you're in the box, be able to see all sides, up, down, left, right, forward, backward. You embody the ether because you're able to see all angles. So if you need to get a better view, step to the side. If something's obstructing your view, get a little higher, right? And so that tweaks the perception. And so Angus showed up for me, the twin flame card. And so I am changing my perception of this card. And there are other cards that I always say these are triggering because in the past, and so I have to not hold him accountable for the repeating patterns that were in the past as well when he would show up. So I'm saying, hello, Angus. I love you. Thank you for showing up for me today. Thank you for being my ally. What do you have? What delicious morsel are you going to place on my plate today, Angus? Show me all the things. I will not reject it. I will receive it. So whatever shows up, whatever he brings me today, I receive. And so the second layer, which is my inner circle, right? So these are the people closest to me, the people I'm engaging with, right? So my closest friends, and I have two specific that I talk to every single day. And so those friends know me better than anyone, Lisa being one of them. And they're the ones that I bounce things off of. So even as transparent as I am here on social media, there is so much more to me that they get to see, and even still so much more to me that no one sees, right? And so this is for my inner circle, for my children, for those couple friends, for those people that I engage with on a very regular basis. Amanda, you being one, because I see you're on. Hello, Amanda, Grand Rising. So the Gaia card, the wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. And so this goes hand in hand with the Zadkiel, right? I am listening, I am teaching from that, what I hear. So I am learning, I am teaching. I am learning, I am teaching. And up until recently, I really had an issue claiming that I was teacher. I don't like labels at all, but Lisa helped me embody that, because she says, you are. How can you not call yourself that? Because you are that. And so I appreciate her for that, for witnessing, and for also allowing me to accept the grace of that, because that is my path. Hello, Lucky. I don't want to butcher your name. So bring love into the situation is my moon card. And this is the new moon in Aquarius. And our full moon on Sunday will be in Aquarius. So it says, bring love into the situation. And I love that, because this is my inner circle. So any exchanges always come from the heart, but to bring love into it. And so I always talk about being triggered. If I am triggered, I actually welcome it. And I like it, because it gives me another opportunity to find some place in here that I'm not liberated. What do I need to clean on? What do I need to work on? What part of me needs to bring that back to zero? So I welcome that. And then the perspective. None of this even matters. If you zoom out and you realize how freaking small you are in the big scheme of things, nothing matters. And so I love that card, the perspective card. And especially today, showing up on a Mercury day, wow. Like, that's a beautiful synchronicity. And so the invitation card is my sacred geometry of the day. And this talks about a portal, opening a portal and moving through that to commune with spirit, that a portal has been opened for deeper communing. And I do know that I'm moving through a transition. I am transitioning. I am moving through an initiation. I can feel it in the deepest parts of myself energetically that I am expanding. And those are always pretty intense. And so in the past, I would always hermit myself in those expansions. I didn't want to be seen, and especially not opening up portals here live, inviting in other energy into my space. But I have been really refining that part of myself, that I will not hermit myself, that I'm allowing that to be witnessed. And hopefully it is inspiring for others to hold themselves accountable in that way through their growth, that they can move through rough patches. And you can see that it's like this, and time is not linear, but it's more of like chaos. But what is birthed out of chaos is always refinement. So come to the edge. And I love the come to the edge card. I love the artwork, first of all, on this deck. But the come to the edge says, you don't even realize how powerful you are. Come to the edge and dive, because you're going to fly. And so I love that. It talks about the support of spirit. So that's all about the portal. A portal has opened. Come to the edge and jump. Do it. Come through the portal. Let yourself be transformed and expanded. And so I love that. And peridot is my ally. Peridot is the stone of increase. And so what this card talks about is accepting that abundance, but also to be aware that with every abundance, with every increase, there will also be a decrease. So allowing that to happen, that ebb and flow, just like the flow of the ocean, allowing the abundance to come in, but also to keep what I need and allow anything else, allow fragments to go with it, so that the abundance can be constant, so that it's not like the flow is good, but then the ebbs are not so depleting that it will actually cause a fear response or hermiting or any of that. So peridot, and Becca, I love that you're on because your mom made this waist chain for me. What did you say? It is so inspiring to see how you move through all of your ebbs and flows. Thank you. And I just said ebb and flow because of the ocean. So this is a waist chain that was actually made for me by Becca's mom. And it is the only peridot I own. But this is an obsidian. And she put little bells on the waist chain. And then there's a peridot dangling. So I am wearing that today to honor the ally for myself. And for peridot, to have that ally with me throughout the entire day, so that I am willing to receive the deeper receiving of whatever shows up, because I am changing my relationship also with Angus. I am not cringing when I see him anymore. I'm saying, yes, bring me all the things. I receive, I receive, I receive. And so the culmination of today's spread is about that. It's about also perceiving myself in a true light, which happens to be my focus wheel for this past new moon, moving through this moon month, was to be able to see myself as Lisa sees me, or as Lolita sees me, because those two sisters really see me. And so allowing myself to truly see myself in that light. And so it's resplendent with grace. And I've never pulled this card before, but the message of this card is receiving grace, but know that I am so worthy of this divine grace. And it's going to be bigger than I ever imagined, but not to be scared or reject it because I think myself unworthy. And so it says, how can you even see yourself without a mirror as big as the galaxies? And I love that because my focus wheel was to be able to see myself. And the card literally says, how can you see yourself without a mirror the size of the galaxy? And I'm like, whoa, okay. But it also says to receive, to receive, to receive, because the grace is meant for me, that my path is not meant to be absent of grace. And so this grace that is coming in is bigger than I ever imagined, and to not fear it. So that's also the increase that peridot says. Peridot says you are going to meet a windfall, is the actual word. So windfall to me usually is like financial, right? But I am welcoming the spiritual windfall. Love, unity consciousness. So that is the spread for today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so much and am so honored that you share your most valuable commodity with me, your time and your energy. I appreciate you so much. I love you. And I am sorry for any misalignment that I myself have caused. I am sorry. And so please forgive me that transgression. Thank you for this opportunity to do that. I love you. I love you. I love you.